good afternoon viewers. Welcome back to Mundur TV News. Good to be with you. I am Azahra Nailah. Brings you the hot news during this week. And here's the news in detail. Even after a year and a half, the COVID-19 pandemic is still far from over, affecting all countries around the world simultaneously. Virtually every aspect of life experiences increasingly alarming, thrilling changes throughout the world. The Central Statistics Agency, or also known as PPS, announced that Indonesia's economic growth in the first quarter of 2021 is having a contraction of -0.74%. This shows a barrier to Indonesia's economic growth to return to the positive zone, prevailing the four contractions since the second quarter of 2020, when the economy was -5.32%. Efforts to suppress the spread of the COVID-19 virus have impeded economic activity and the impact it can have on people's levels of social welfare. People's income is rapidly declining, goods and services prices rise sharply, and reaching levels that most communities find difficult to reach. Even according to one of the economists, Kian Gi, he said that if the economic crisis is abandoned, there will be massive shambles. Education in Indonesia turned into a remote learning system. Many students have had some difficulties starting with internet obstacles, network difficulties in some remote areas, increased quota costs, and a little understanding of some practical and calculating subjects. Therefore, once their income is reduced or even lost, then financing for education will be reduced or even halted. More than that, the decline and loss of family income will move them to direct children's activities to something productive for the family, rather than sending them to school. As for that, one junior high school student at Cimahi works as a builder, and one other student in Jakarta working in the factory that was his parents' business. The COVID-19 pandemic is affecting United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, targets significantly, where the target should be expected to be reached by 2030. One of the aspects affected is in the field of education. The COVID-19 pandemic causes a learning crisis that will affect Indonesia in the long run. The government's decision to close schools while may worsen the gap in access to education. It can affect poor and vulnerable students and will prevent many students from reaching classroom knowledge and skills. Governments issue policies for economic recovery and suppress the growth of COVID-19. The National Economic Recovery Program, or also known as PEN, was implemented to reduce the impact of COVID-19 on national economies, helping to help implement the national education sector, to help implement the process of long-distance learning, and to contribute to the well-being of educators and education workers. The two ministries of education overshadowing in Indonesia, the Ministry of Education and Culture, are also known as Kemendikbud, and the Ministry of Religion, are also known as Kemenak, have already allocated several budgets to support teaching activities. The Ministry of Religion, Fahrul Razi, said that the government has already allocated 5.79 trillion rupiahs to make good use of details like internet quotas for students, operational assistance for Islamic religious education, and boarding schools. In the meantime, the Ministry of Religion got the BSU budget allocation of 1.15 trillion rupiahs to provide the subsidized education programs, or BSU, for non-government educators and subsidies on the internet. Minister of Human and Cultural Development Coordinator Muhajir Effendi said this handling of the COVID-19 pandemic was not just a job of the central government, and it would take collaboration and cooperation with all elements of society to solve pandemic problems in Indonesia. Well, viewers, that's all news for today. Hopefully, we'll get back to normal soon, and don't forget to always obey health protocol wherever you go. Again, I am Azahra Nailah, and have a great day.